Hey guys, I wanted to share my thoughts and opinions on the whole locker room situation. My opinions are biased like the rest, but I'd like to stress the fact that I do my own research and I am not blindly following all the echo chambers online that are spreading misinformation. Now let's come to the point how this happened. A Twitter user first uploaded series of screenshots on her Twitter feed, which was soon followed by two subpar influencers on Instagram. They are said to be the pioneers or the face of the movement as they have brought this issue into the public focus. As the story was becoming viral over the nation, most of the boys deleted their old accounts, created new fake IDs, and joined into Locker Room 2.0, which was formed for the sole purpose of venting their frustration at the people that had shared those stories. The two girls on Instagram got a lot of love and support from the community. They almost doubled their followers online overnight and had suddenly become the champions of women's rights. Now, a lot of guys went on to claim that the girls had actually done this only for clout. Now, I know this might sound wrong and derogatory, but there is some weight to it. It still holds its merit. The fact that they have increased their fame, doubled their following, and become more of a public figure just cannot be denied. Series of stories started coming out claiming that actually the screenshots that were being shared were morphed and edited. Shubham Singh, while talking to the BBC, who is a cyber cell expert, issued a caution that many of the screenshots actually appear to be edited. Anuva, who is one of the pioneers, was later labeled a hypocrite because she was exposed to be doing the same thing to her peers as well. It was found later in the expose that Anuva herself had given rape threats before and also objectified other members of a group. A legal action is already underway. 5 boys have been taken in for questioning, and the charge sheet is rumored to have 22, which is a bit odd because the screenshot showed more than 30 plus boys. So, where are the rest? Now that the facts are out of the way, here are my thoughts and opinions on the matter. Clear your mind real quick. Imagine this: you're sitting around randomly scrolling through your feed and you saw this post for the very first time. But the only key difference is that this and this aren't present in it. Now be truthful and be honest here. Would you be as outraged as you are right now? If your answer was no, then congratulations, because we are now on the same team. But if your answer was yes, here is a question for you. Have you stopped every other person that you've ever been in contact with who has assaulted other person in some or the other way? You have probably not. So now the question arises, why are you so passionate about this particular matter? Again, we come back to the narrative. The narrative of this story was very well put together. It had the emotions, it had the pull, it had everything. I mean, the story is so good that Akshay Kumar could probably make a movie out of it. There were a lot of virtual cues in the posts themselves as well. You were told how to feel about each and every line and not actually feel them for yourself. You felt obligated to feel that way. You guys are smart enough to identify what is objectionable and what is not on your own, aren't you? Now, let me quickly address this issue. Why you shouldn't consider this and this? The reason why you shouldn't consider this is because it's clearly a fake. If you have an eye for detail, you would notice that the screenshot is really blurred. A screenshot only becomes blur when you process it. Now, why you shouldn't consider this? Because it's probably faked, and even if it's not, it's from a single chat, not from a group. The whole group cannot be held accountable and be held to this because of one single person if it's true at all. I bet 90% of you guys feel so strongly about this case because of either of these screenshots. either the first one or the second one. But these two are the most controversial screenshots of the bunch, and suddenly, if you take them away, the whole weight of the case really becomes bare to the bone. No one seems to be addressing the real problem here. We are surrounded by a very sex positive Western culture in a very sex negative Indian society. The transition that we have of sex education as children is at a very early stage we have a very crude introduction, and then we have suddenly a very extreme introduction in the form of porn. I think helping people feel, control, and express these sexual desires in a more healthy way is the way to go rather than having them stop altogether. According to me, thirst traps are the number one reason for this kind of assaults online. I am not against girls posting revealing pictures. More power to them if they want to. You have every right to do so, and nobody should ever have control over it, or neither use those pictures maliciously. But what people need to understand is that every choice you make as a human being, age and sex being irrelevant, it has its own responsibility and risk that come along with it. You very consciously decided to out those boys publicly. Now, what that had was byproducts that you couldn't stop at all. A 15-year-old boy committed suicide because it was alleged that he had sexually assaulted one of his friends. He simply didn't want to face that humiliation. His charges were never proven. The degree of assault was never established. It's just that he didn't want to deal with it. I warned you guys on the very first day. This will happen. Public humiliation is never the answer. Not everyone can deal with this. Not everyone can deal with the tag of being called a racist or a rapist or a terrorist. These are words that have very strong gravity associated with it. Some guys might take it for fun. Some guys might actually feel what the word means. The word actually means something very gruesome and something really gross that no one wants to feel.